Thank you very much, Para and Deficio, and welcome everybody to the promotion tournament edition of the post-game lobby. With us is the newest member of the LCS, Selfie. Welcome back to the stage. Congratulations on the win. Did the series go the way you were expecting and anticipating?
To be honest, after yesterday, I mean, before Origin series, we were really confident, but after series, we didn't really tilt, but we were really upset. So, I still expected us to win, but I thought it's gonna be actually really hard because I think we pretty much underperformed. I think yesterday, but today I think we played pretty well. So yeah.
Looking back at that game 3, Gilius, of course, bust out the Lee Sin, had some good moments himself. Were you guys at all nervous coming into game 4? It seems like you adapted really well against that pick.
Yeah. So Gilius Lee Sin is pretty good. So we were thinking about banning it, but then we realized he didn't do anything that good other than us allowing him to do that. So we just decided to ban Vladimir because they banned Karma. So
yep.
So just banning Vladimir, I think game seemed pretty easy. Other than game 3 was hard because I think we just fall behind from just stupid mistakes getting caught, me especially.
We heard a couple of guys amongst the Misfits team talking about the Origin series and the lane swaps and how things went so badly. It started a lot of discussion around LCS level lane swaps and challenger lane swaps. How different is it when you play on that stage and you play against these teams that have practiced it so much?
I mean, I'm mid laner, so I don't really know. When we were playing game 5, I'm hearing just Alphari, what is happening, guys? I'm like, oh, are you fine or not? And just I just hear him kind of tilt, but yeah, I guess they're better. But we analyzed the OG series, we rewatched it, and we said that they were not that good at lane swaps, that we just really allowed them to do stuff because we were really passive this series.
Yeah, so looking forward now, requalified for the LCS. You get to be back on the stage. What's the mood like in the team? We heard at the beginning of the day, I think it was Alphari who was saying, it's not even about us anymore. It's, it's about playing for the team. It's about giving back to the management and the organization as well. So how are you and the guys looking forward, knowing you've got a few months before you join the Spring Split?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah. What do you, as a team, have you talked about what's going to come now in the next 3 or 4 months? Are you going to take some time, then practice, training, etc.?
Yeah. So I'm not sure about who's gonna stay because I know Ignar really misses Korea. So I hope he doesn't go to Korea because I love that guy. But I hope we all stay together because I really have high hopes for that team, and I think we can do really well in LCS. So yeah, I just really hope we'll stay together. And also, I don't want to leave this team because our management is it's the first management I've ever been on that actually takes care super hard of the players. Our owner watches our scrims. He's been here. He always does everything. If we need something in the house, he instantly helps us. This is the best owner I ever had.
That's really good to hear. Talking about Ignar, he's actually our player of the series. It's somebody that Sifa and myself felt very strongly about. His Tom Kench in game 2 is just so good. You mentioned maybe going back to Korea, but also you look at Wisdom coming in, subbing out for Llama Bear. So is the team still trying to find that perfect 5-man starting roster? Or are you happy with the 5 guys that won today?
I think it's still gonna be a bit swaps, but I don't know. There can be a lot of changes in our team, so I really don't know. But yeah, I like how it is now.
Seems like a good setup for you guys overall. I'm curious, why Wisdom over Llama Bear today? What do you think Wisdom brings that Llama Bear does not?
Yeah, so in scrims against Schalke, when Llama was getting cheesed, he didn't Wisdom has better experience, so he knows how to play against cheesy strategies. So that's actually the main reason why we started Wisdom, because he has more experience. Yeah.
Seemed to work out for the best. 3-1. Congratulations again. That does it for the promotion tournament. I just want to look a little bit forward at the 3 teams that have earned themselves a seat in the European LCS. It is, of course, Roccat first, then Origin, and now Misfits. They will join Fnatic G2 Giants. You can see all the logos up on your screen. And looking forward, obviously, playoffs is coming up, Selfie. Before we get to talk about that, we do actually have a couple questions from the viewers, from the audience at home. We asked which European player from those 10 will you be watching in the Spring Split and why? Here's a few interesting responses. From Enrico DVT, if I were Origin, I would try Origin Hans Summer. Now that's obviously a funny one. Let's talk about the player first. Hans Summer. He had some mixed games today. Some were good, some were bad. Was he a little bit off his game, or was that just like Gilius Lee Sin, for example, giving him a tough day?
I think he was a bit nervous first game, but I think he played well. But I don't know.
I mean, it's probably hard to tell. He had some good moments. He had some bad moments. I think that was the story.
He's really good mechanically, and like before I started to play with team with him, I heard stuff that he's like just mechanical player, but he's actually very smart for like AD carries because they're usually pretty dumb. So.
I agree with that. I'm an AD carry player myself. At Nightmare, he says Steelback will be a player to watch on whatever team he is on. Have you watched a lot of the summer splits and the EULCS? I mean, I know you were playing in Challenger yourself. So what's your opinion on Steelback?
I think he's really good at playing like backline style, like when he can just sit back and just focus on like the small auto attacks. I don't think he's like really aggressive AD carry, but I think he's good for Rocket. Like if he can just like play passive and like give auto attacks from the back, and he will always perform good.
Yeah, safe and clean AD carry. Sifa, I've got one for you.
All right.
This one comes from Colin Lisford. He says, the player to watch is Vizichachi because he likes to learn how to win matchups that everyone else thinks are losing ones.
That's an interesting way to phrase Vizichachi's love for interesting. I love watching Vizichachi. I think he's always a player to watch because he plays such interesting stuff, and he's a very talented top laner. But I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm worried. Because sometimes Unicorns of Love take it too far.
Well, Unicorns of Love, they will be playing in our first quarter final. We're going to look forward to that very quickly. It is the summer playoffs coming up next weekend, starting with Giants versus the Unicorns of Love at 5 p.m. Central European Summertime on Saturday. Then on Sunday, it'll be H2K taking on Fnatic. So, Sifa, you touched on Vizichachi going up against Smitty J in the top lane there against Giants. What's your take? What's your opinion?
Smitty J is the rising star of top laners right now. Actually, I think that matchup will be relatively even. I think it's the rest of the roster that Unicorns of Love has to be worried about. I think the jungle from Maxlor has been on point, where his move has been a little bit inconsistent, and Knight is a monster.
Yeah.
He continues to get better, and while Exile is also getting better at a pretty decent pace, I think Knight definitely still has the edge.
And Selfie, who do you think has the advantage in H2K or Fnatic on the Sunday?
Do we know what AD is H2K gonna play with?
I don't think we do.
Not just yet. So they only have to submit their final roster 24 hours before. So we'll know definitely by Saturday. But I think let's assume it's Forgiven. Let's assume it's Forgiven.
Yeah,
what do you think then?
I think if they're gonna play with Forgiven, if they played like they did in last week's with Forgiven, I think they can win like over Fnatic. But Fnatic is always like playoff team, like always playing very well in like best of 5. So like I think it's gonna be close. But if they're gonna play with Forgiven, they have the edge. Like they can go 3-2 or 3-1. Yeah.
That makes sense. Have you had a chance to play on 6.15 yet, competitively? Even though I know these playoffs were 6.1.
Oh, it's like the lane swap shit?
Yep.
Stuff.
Nice catch.
I didn't.
Not yet. Okay.
Just in solo queue.
All right.
But in solo queue, no one lane swaps. So.
Yeah, exactly. So not going to work out. All right. So I'm not going to follow up on that one. For you guys at home, remember that you can join us here in the European LCS studio. Just head over to lolesports.com for details on how you can get your hands on those tickets for the quarterfinals and the semifinals and for the tickets in Krakow, Poland. It is our best of 5 today. If it wasn't enough, the North American League Promotion Tournament Series will be coming up in just a few minutes. It's do or die for Echo Fox and Energy. They are fighting their own battle to stay in the big leads. I am just tongue-tied. It's time for us to log off. Thank you. Thank you again for joining us, Selfie. Congratulations to Misfits. The promotion tournament, it is now wrapped up. You can turn into the summer playoffs as Europe's road to Worlds grows shorter. We hope you join us on Saturday, 5 p.m. Central European Summertime for the first quarterfinal, as we've mentioned, between Giants and the Unicorns of Love. Remember, some teams may be relegated, but you guys at home will never be relegated from my heart. Good night.